I just got back from FinCon and you can obviously see that my budget is feeling the impacts. I have so many transactions to record and I'm so excited to show you how I'm going to do it in YNAB. Looks like YNAB wants me to refresh. Gonna let it load. Okay, if I click on here, it's gonna filter everything, which is gonna be super convenient. Let's see down here. I thought I saw this come in and I thought there was a match for it, which is interesting. There's not. So I'm just gonna check off the ones that already have categories and they look right. This Uber needs to change. Dairy Queen's fine. That's probably fine. And then that's probably fine. Now I get to categorize these guys. I wonder if I can do it in bulk. See if I can check off 2 of these before I get too far ahead and go under edit. Ooh, there is a categorize button. Cool. So if I just check all of these, because I have Marriott, all of these are from the Marriott. Ooh, even my most expensive one has not come in yet. Frequency food truck. Oh, I definitely was also in Orlando. Okay, great. So now I can click on edit. I don't usually get to use this one, so it's kind of exciting. And we went on a trip, or I went on a trip, and it is right here, 09, which is September, FinCon. And now I get to clear the search. Ooh, there are pending ones waiting to come in. So let's double check that air thing for a minute. What was it called? It was like an air service. There it is. Okay, I don't see another one, so that should be okay. This is going under... Oops. I'll do it the same fancy way I did before. I bet this is actually work lunch. This was actually convenience. And what did I do? I definitely didn't use my handy don't impulse spend trick on Amazon. I just went for it. Oh, I know what it was. It was for work. I think I left my shitty little wireless mouse in Orlando and I got a Microsoft Surface mouse because that's what I've been wanting. So I have a category called Grace is a Boss because often my work expenses, like Forrest doesn't really have work expenses other than like work lunch. So I'm just going to throw it in there because I don't want to like have a unique category for stuff like this. It's not going to happen very often. And those are all my scheduled and pending transactions. I noticed that the charge for the room did not come out yet, so I'm expecting to see that. If I click on bank import, no, not yet. All right, then I'll go into joint. And it looks like I got this amount ready to assign. One bank import. This is from Forrest, so I'll just also put this in ready to assign. And now I'm going to go into our budget to officially budget. So repetitive. All right, delete that. And September, we have an underfunded amount. This is definitely just from all of that spending. Let's make sure I have that amount covered. Why is this like category have no money in it, you guys? Is it because it's in my personal? That's exactly why I need to transfer this to cover all the spending because I did all the spending out of my joint. So I have $14.50 and I can go into, do I really want to take it out of checking? I feel like it needs to come out of savings, even though that's going to take a little while to transfer. So take this. I don't know why it squishes it all the time. Give me a little space to breathe here. I want to see the full date and year. To joint. I believe I wanted to keep this in here as long as possible, so it'd be earning as much interest as possible. Now I'm going to go back to joint and add this transaction to my checking because that's where it's going to be coming in from. And it's coming from Grace. I must have combined, I did some trickery in my payees and managed them, and I think I just changed it to my full name. Oh, but that says transfer from Forrest checking. What about transfer? That's fine. I'll fix it later, I guess. All right, so right away, $14.50 goes to FinCon. You know, I think I was pretty much on target with this estimate. The room charge is still going to come in, and this should take care of that. And I don't think I'll have much left over to do any fun things with. So now I'm going to look at food spending because that is where we spend the most. Cool. We still have money available in there. So now I'm going to go down here, and this overspending I'll just cover from ready to assign since it wasn't really planned. And I still see I have an underfunded amount of $334 pretty much. So I like to go through and just collapse the categories that don't have overspending or need funding. Then it's really easy for me just to look on this side and see that they're green or gray and move on from it. So home maintenance is down, but I need to fund this, but I don't need to fund it by 176.10. I just need to add 150 because that's my usual goal. So now you can see I totally funded with 150, but I did take out, because it is a sinking fund, just to put it in the right category for home improvement. I like to know if I'm doing home maintenance, which is like something broke, something needs to have like some preventative care, and home improvement as like I'm trying to add some value to the equity of my home. This one, I'm also intentionally not funding all the way, so all those are good. Stupid good deals. Just gonna top that off. Unless, did I already do it over here? And did I move something out of MISC? I did. I'll just leave that then. Food with friends. Yeah, I should probably top this up. We're good on groceries, but I'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, so September, we're looking good. September's fully funded. Yay. Moving on to trying to fully fund October. Doesn't feel super likely at this point. I'm gonna definitely fund all these bills on the 1st. The HOA assessment is kind of a weird one. Just leave it for now. And then the other thing coming out on the 1st would be Gamefly. There's no target on here, but there is an upcoming transaction. So $32.59. For spending, what do I usually do? Yeah, I do a need for spending. Cool. Ooh, monthly. Do by date. Monthly's fine. There we go. And now I'll click on that underfunded button. I'm just gonna do my usual little sprinkling of money down these categories. Budgeting is all like a mental game, I find. There's really no like rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I'm just trying to fund all of these partially rather than funding one of them completely. For this one, I'm not treating this one as a sinking fund. It should just be at $50. I think it'll count it as funded when the month rolls over because of the way this target works. So I'll just skip over that for now and kind of keep an eye on how this is working and if I like it and the way it's working in my budget. Great, so I like to throw my change into Found It, which is just a little sinking fund basically to buy things on my wish farm. And I can see the underfunded amount is $2,700 and let's just say 70, and that should be covered with my next paycheck as well as Forrest's rent, or oh my gosh, it's not rent anymore because we're engaged. It's just he does a monthly contribution and I do a paycheck contribution to our budget. So when he pays his monthly contribution to our joint, October will be totally funded. How exciting. Yay. And we are just going to keep on cruising along into my personal budget. It wants us to refresh again. 5 new transactions. Looks like I am willing to bet what happened with my paycheck. It's slightly more than the last one. I am willing to bet it is because I am now getting a stipend for being a remote worker. They've given me a little bit to help cover with the internet bill. I need to double check my pay stubs. I need to double check my pay stubs to confirm. Match. Approve. There's my car payment. This was for food. I forgot my card, and somebody at the conference was kind enough to lend me the card, and then I just paid her via Venmo. Shout out to Kelly, financial planner from Portland. And it looks like another donation came out, and we can approve that. Oh, there's still a dot. What's happening? Okay, I took the money from a joint account transfer, but now I need to lift that from FinCon. Ooh, so exciting. I can go down here and delete this one now. Love cleaning up my categories like that. September, it says underfunded 1,000. That is because I have a goal here to repay my grandpa. I'm still going to be getting another paycheck in September, so I'm not going to be funding this right now, actually. I'm going to work on completely funding October, which, again, I have another same goal of $1,000 to pay back my grandpa. So if you are ignoring that, I only have to do like $933. So if I select everything, deselect that one. Now I click on underfunded. Everything should be totally funded, which is awesome. Now I'll just add 100 for now, so it's a little easier next time. And then I'll also throw this into Found It. Quick catch up if you haven't been around for a hot minute. My goals are all crazy. If I go back to, let's say, July, you can see how this was working in wealth building. I have automatic transactions coming up for all of these. So budget and, for bridge investment, I do 125 one week and then 110 the next week, and it alternates. For nest egg, I was doing 125 a month, and for cash, this was to save for our wedding and our honeymoon, I was doing 500 automatically, and then everything else I could find for it. And you can see that pattern repeated in August. And then September, I really want to pay back my grandpa for the loan that he gave me for my down payment. Basically, because student loans are canceled, I am just really motivated to get completely out of family student loan debt. I'll just have my super low interest rate car and fairly low interest rate mortgage. Then I decided that I would be pausing my automatic transactions for the nest egg, which is another investment account. Basically, the breakdown I have here is retirement accounts, basically the IRAs and 401ks in my life. The bridge investment are still intended for retirement, but they are non-tax advantage investment vehicles. Nest egg is another non-tax advantage investment vehicle, but I plan to use it in the next 5 to 10 years. The goal of it is like not to sit and like help me fund my retirement. It's to buy a house or travel or do whatever our big couple family goals become in life. And then like I mentioned, cashed. This is not investing. This is just to pay for those big wedding and honeymoon expenses coming up. That's a little breakdown of my wealth building and how I'm rerouting that wealth building right now into debt freedom. And it is so close. I only owe him $1,000 or $5,000, but and gosh, how have I even done this so far? It's a lot. This is all from Ready to Assign. Anyway, I've worked really hard to scrape everything out of my budget that I possibly can to throw out this goal, and it looks like I should be able to reach it in October, which is so exciting. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel like supporting me, you can follow me on Instagram, buy me a coffee, and of course, like, comment, subscribe, all the things. I'll catch you next time. Bye!